boys and girls out there, and get off that! What are you doing? I thought you were going to give some of that to the cat. We've been fighting a battle for the whole day, trying to keep the cat from eating part of this breakfast ring. I have to keep it on the table within arm's length of me, or the cat will try and push the glass thing off the kitchen counter to bust it open to get at the breakfast ring. And then she get glass shards in the goofy thing and probably kill herself eating the stupid breakfast ring. And on top of that, she'll figure out there's no meat in it and won't want to eat it in the first place. So just ruin my breakfast ring and break my cake keeper thingy-mabob. And the cat's sitting there in the producer's lap looking at me like, I'm the crazy one. Anyway, folks, welcome to our news broadcast. We are coming to you today, I was going to say live, but I guess this isn't live.
You're live?
Yes, I'm alive. I'm coming to you today. At the time of this recording, I am not dead. And we're coming to you today from the Mel Torme Memorial Soundstage. Yay! Mel Torme. Okay.
I thought you'd afford a better soundstage than this.
Well, Mel Torme is so great. Mel Torme has several memorial sound stages. This just happens to be the one on the south side slopes. Or, for all I know, one of the ones on the south. He might have 4 or 5 on the south side slopes here in Pittsburgh. For all I know. I mean, he was pretty great. I mean, the man wrote the music to the Christmas song. I mean, come on. It doesn't get much better than that. But anyway, we're going to, you know what? And stop apologizing. Mel Torme is awesome. And don't say that. People are going to think there's something wrong with you. You don't know who Mel Torme is. Anyway. Moving on. Today we're starting off in San Diego. In San Diego, where the mayor of San Diego resigned today because he if you believe from his words, he accidentally harassed 17 women. To all the women I've offended, I had no intention to be offensive, to violate any physical or emotional space. I was trying to establish personal relationships, but the combination of awkwardness and hubris led to behavior that I think many found offensive. The man hit on a United States Naval Admiral. Okay. If you're going to hit on a woman, you should not hit on a woman who has an arsenal of cruise missiles at her disposal. That is just, I mean, you know, if the woman can vaporize you if you go anywhere on the planet and she can vaporize you, you need to move on and try and pick up a different woman. That's just good common sense out there. Now, if you really do truly love her, you really need to send some flowers in a barbershop quartet to ask for it. What did that say? Yeah, okay, thank you. My producer doesn't tell me what she writes on those cards. So for all I know, she's giving out my personal address and telling you to send me offensive things. But the mayor of San Diego seemed to not understand that women do not like to be felt up by old men. Apparently, if you look like Matthew McConaughey, women will let you grab them. But if you look like Mr. Magoo, not so much. So apparently, Matthew McConaughey, it's still okay for you to. Did you just call Matthew McConaughey? What do you call Matthew McConaughey? Why'd you call Matthew McConaughey a baboon? What did he ever do to you? You're just jealous because Matthew McConaughey never felt you up, aren't you? That's what's going on here. Our producer wishes to be felt up by Matthew McConaughey, and it hasn't happened yet. By the way, Matthew McConaughey, if you're watching this, our producer would like a date. Seriously. She's very nice, has a great personality. Unfortunately, she only produces by she will only talk to you by writing things on little 3x5 cards and holding them up for you. So it will be a strain on the relationship. But if you're willing to stick it out, I could be worth it. But we'll leave that alone. So I just can't vote. He further went on to say, I'm responsible for providing the ammunition. I did that and I take full responsibility. But there are well-organized interests who have run the city for 50 years who pointed the gun. The media and their political agents pulled the trigger. So yes, a well-organized, shadowy group of people in the San Diego area somehow got this dirty old man to hit on women. My goodness. I don't know, but I miss the good old days when the political machine wanted to get a politician out of the way. They just shot him. Why couldn't you have just shot this guy instead of framing him for being a womanizing pig? I don't know. Citizens of San Diego, it is not too late. You can still shoot your mayor. Anyway, moving on to the next story. George Zimmerman. Apparently, we're having a theme today of people that need to stay out of the public limelight and need to shut up. George Zimmerman is apparently number 2 on this list. He went and toured the factory where they made the gun which he shot Trayvon with. Okay, you have just beaten a murder rap because your lawyers argued that you were so pathetic that you had no choice but to shoot the person you picked a fight with. And so you go hang out in the place where they made the gun. Really? Whoever paid for this guy's lawyers can't send this guy a publicist or someone or tell him that he needs to go and feed kittens for the rest of his life and be seen doing it, or go to Nepal and build houses for orphans, or do something worthwhile with his life so that he can pretend that he wasn't a complete and total scumbag? You see, what a complete and total scumbag does when they get away with murdering someone is go to the factory and thank the people that made your murder weapon. You see, that's what a scumbag does. On behalf of all white people out there, I would like to apologize to the African American community. George Zimmerman is a putz. He is a scumbag. You see, if he had any sense whatsoever, he would have joined a convent or fed the poor for the rest of his life or done something. Worked in a food kitchen for a couple of Saturdays to prove that he wasn't a complete scumbag. Not do the complete total redneck scumbag move and then go and ogle more weapons. And someone in Florida needs to pass a law that this man is not allowed to have a gun. For criminy sakes, what's wrong with you people in Florida? I know that as far as the United States go, you guys are the people that got to the Constitutional Convention in the short bus. But seriously, scumbag, you need to keep this guy out of the public limelight so the people don't think you're an idiot. I mean, a black woman shoots a couple of warning shots and spends time in prison. White guy kills a black person. He goes to Disneyland and tours the gun factory. Somewhere in Florida, the governor or someone down there has got to be able to do better PR than this. You people are just making us look bad. I mean, there are people in other countries who think that this little inbred backwater thing in Florida of rednecks represents the United States. You see, look at this. I have all of my teeth. I have not married one of my cousins. My gene pool is more than 1 foot deep. I would like to think that people like me represent the United States. And not... I just can't say anything more about this, and I need to go on to something that is a little bit a little bit happier because, oh, God. Okay. Lady Gaga stuns on GMA with paper dress. Apparently, Lady Gaga was visiting the GMAs and was wearing a paper dress. And actually, I mean, she wore the meat dress. I didn't think the meat dress was very tasteful. Not because it was made poorly, but I just think that it should have been cooked. It would have been tastier cooked. I don't like my meat rare. So it would have been more tasteful if it had been rare, or if it had not been rare. I mean, raw meat? Come on. Yeah. But, you know, I mean, she's avant-garde, and I got that. And she's better looking than George Zimmerman. But then again, I have, let's see, we have broken balloon animals on the floor. But never mind. We're not talking about George anymore, because I just don't want to offend people that grew up in trailer parks. I know he's one of yours, but, you know, whatever. Moving on. So she visited the GMAs. Oh, wait a minute. According to this... Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Oh, according to this, GMA stands for Good Morning America. I thought it meant the Gospel Music Awards. Which I thought it was very strange that Lady Gaga was showing up for the Gospel Music Awards. Also, I suppose it's also very strange that George Stephanopoulos was at the Gospel Music Awards. But I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, maybe the Greek people have some gospel music. What? She could be doing gospel music, maybe. You know, rah, 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 rah. Jesus, I love my Jesus. Never mind. Okay, to the gospel music singing people of the world, I do apologize. And the really, really sad thing about this is, I'm the president of my church gospel choir. I am. This isn't a joke. You know what? You know what? I know what that one said. That was rude. And so that's a shame. I just said horrible things about gospel music. Okay, moving on. Next up, Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson made my radar this week. Mike Tyson, for the first time in his life, has played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And apparently Mike Tyson, in his first round of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, lost to Glass Joe. If you played Mike Tyson, Glass Joe was the guy at the beginning that you like smashed him and he broke up. I mean, he's like Glass Joe. He was a wimp. But Mike Tyson is apparently not a big video game person. And so really, I mean, I'm sure that if Mike Tyson really had to fight Glass Joe, that Mike Tyson would just look at him and he would fall to pieces and die. Maybe not if Mike Tyson talked, because he's got that very high voice. Or maybe that very high voice, Mike Tyson could have sang at him. And he could have shattered, because he's made of glass. But anyway, Mike Tyson played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for the first time. I mean, that game probably made him millions of dollars, and he never played it. You know, if someone made a video game of Zippo, I would play that game. I would probably lose, because I'm really bad at video games. Maybe that's why Tyson didn't play. He was too busy earning millions and millions of dollars in real life. He didn't want to... yeah, I don't know. I'm moving on. Okay. In British news. And I say this is British news because it was taken from the Telegraph, which is a British newspaper, and it is an interview from Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey thinks that all movies should now be directly released to the internet and to video to stop piracy, or well, at least to cut down on piracy. Apparently the theory is that if everybody can get their DVDs on the day the movie's released, they're not going to buy pirated DVDs.
DVD underwear.
DVDs, not BVDs, not BVDs. You know what? His comment came at the Edinburgh International Television Festival, where he was invited to give the keynote he was to give the keynote lecture following his success in the remake of House of Cards, which was originally a British show and was made on the Netflix. And it was rather nice, actually. It was a lot of the time when they remake a British show and I see it on American TV, I think, oh, that's terrible. But this one was really pretty good, so I was very pleased with that. So Kevin Spacey, we love you here at the Mel Torme Memorial Soundstage in Pittsburgh. You're in Edinburgh. They probably have at least 4 Mel Torme Memorial Soundstages there. But, yeah. Anyway, next up, our last news item for this evening. Zayn Malik, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name, but my co-host, she is, if you watch some of the other bits, my co-host Kaylee Wilson has been off knitting rather long scarves for giraffes in Texarkana, because apparently there are wild giraffes roaming Texarkana, but because in Texarkana it can be very warm during the day and get cold at night, the giraffes get sore throats. And so what she does is she knits a scarf for them that is, 50, 60 feet long. We have one of them here. This one's not quite finished yet. When we're done with this one, we will be shipping it to Texarkana so that my co-anchor, Kaylee Wilson, can put it on a giraffe. Because we here at the Steel City Clown Brigade are great naturalists. I mean, Greenpeace, the Audubon Society, World Wildlife Federation, you haven't gone on this. You don't care about the giraffes. World Wildlife Federation, all you care about are them stinking pandas. And you know what a panda is? A panda is a big, fat, miscolored, misshapen, communist raccoon. You heard it here. Pandas are more closely related to raccoons than they are to bears. And they're mean, too. And all they eat is bamboo. Can you imagine what a panda fart smells like? You spend day in, day out eating bamboo. Your fart's got to be awful. You go to China, they talk about Beijing having smog and being smelly. That's not from the cars. The cars make it smell good. That's panda farts. I tell Chinese, that's why the Chinese are shipping their pandas out. Because they don't want to have to deal with that the panda flatulence anymore. Anyway, that brings us back to Zayn. Zayn Malik is engaged to singer Pierre Edwards. Pierre? I didn't know he was gay. Wait a minute. There's a picture here, and Pierre is a blonde woman who is too good looking for him. Perrie? Perry? Maybe she's named Perry. I don't know. I've never heard of her. They just got engaged. Joni Edwards, who I guess is related to Perry, offered congrats in some kind of Twittergram or something there. Some sort of electronic tweetery note that was sent out, and that was how the story broke, is someone sent out a Twittergram. You got this on camera here? Is this on camera? I'm sitting here trying to bring the news to people, and Barishka is here trying to get my Danish. We got this giant Danish under grass. 1 minute, people. There we go. We got this giant Danish here under glass. We have our practice right before here, and we usually have some sort of tasty treat because Clown's got the sweet tooth. But apparently this cat has a sweet tooth too. If we watch for the next hour, this cat would slowly push this thing off the table until she got it out. And then the other cats would come and say, wait, there's no meat in this thing. I don't want to eat it. And so after you have destroyed it for the rest of us, you will not eat it anyway. Why? Don't look at them. She was looking at the camera. Were you just giving me a snotty look looking at the camera? Were you? Really? Really? You're the cat in this situation. I bring you food. I clean up your poop. I get a scoop. I get a scoop. Hey, don't look. I'm talking to you. Look at me. Oh, that's just plain rude. I clean up your... You know what? You can at least learn to use the toilet. I know you can. I know you... Don't look at them. They're not going to support you. Seriously. Yeah. You go away. Ha! Remember, opposable thumbs! Opposable thumbs! Cat's on the floor giving me a dirty look. Anyway. What? Don't apologize. That cat deserved it. That cat is a lovely, lovely cat, but she is, I don't know. What? You call my cat a twit? Well, folks out there, we thank you once again for tuning into the news from the Steel City Clown Brigade. I'm Chief Stephen Ramsey-Gailey saying good night. You all have a good evening out there. Thank you very much. You are loved.